In my medical practice, I've done a lot of counseling on substance use disorders of all kinds, and especially alcohol, because alcohol is so, pervasive. And especially, here in Wisconsin, the amount of alcohol that is consumed is very extreme. And thinking about an addiction to a substance, okay, sometimes we can talk about food as like a food addiction, and we can certainly struggle with it. It's the same biochemical pathways are hitting our dopamine, our reward cycles. We get into a cycle with anything, whether it's a chocolate cake or an alcohol or whatever it is. An activity like these addiction pathways are very powerful, and you can struggle with anything. Sometimes I'll be talking to someone about alcohol, and, people have, right, such terrible consequences from it and dysfunction. And you say, I don't want that part of my life in the future. And the reality is, for many people, you say, you can't drink in the future. It's not worth it. Every time I've tried it, it just cycles in such a bad way. But it can be overwhelming to think of that, when you think, my whole life, am I never going to be drinking again? You're bringing all the burden of that, the whole future decisions every time. It's so much, okay? And one of the best ways to think about it, so many programs go there, is just living in the present, right? Isn't this what we need to do? Today, I don't want to be drinking, and that's good enough. And that you can handle. You say, because very clearly today, you say, I'm in a good place, I'm content, I'm finding satisfaction, meaning, value, presence here in this moment. That's a powerful framework. I've talked with so many people who have gotten over an alcohol addiction who say, we're just taking it one day at a time. We're 5 years out, but we're just dealing with it one day at a time. Now, from a certain perspective, you say, well, a food addiction, struggling with cravings or something like that, you say, is that nowhere near as intense as alcohol? Well, I would say the side effects of it are nowhere near as intense in the short term. I mean, you're not going to get a DUI for chocolate cake. You know what I mean? Thank God. But the struggle is real with it, and many health implications from it. You say, if our body is not operating in a healthy framework, and we have metabolic problems, is leading to great deals of disability and disease, right? If we think of the end result of so many of these things, even if it's just osteoarthritis, cause a tremendous amount of pain and suffering and disability. And then every other metabolic problem from there, diabetes and fatty liver disease and heart disease. Say, no, this is actually really serious. If it's fun to joke about it. We say, oh, we can just joke about chocolate cake. But it's not really a joke. And it's actually really serious. And then you get into that place and you say, well, because this is how I'm thinking about it, right? Our society treats it like a joke. It's become a joke to take healthy eating seriously. So that's kind of giving me pause as I was even joking about it. But no, it's really serious. So we want to dive into that mindset. We say, how do you actually do it? Because you say, oh, well, it would seem so easy. Good morning to Janice here. So nice to have you here. When you joke about it, like I was kind of doing, you say, oh, it's well, it's not like alcohol addiction. It's just a piece of cake. Okay. But if this is the thing, okay, not a lot of people in our society, finding success actually doing it. That's why we're having so much trouble in our society. That's why we have, it's at least, I should say, one part of the puzzle. Obviously, it's very complex, a very difficult situation. Why are we having the difficulty that we are having in our society? Multifactorial. But if we are trying to ourselves take control of it and move away from it, say, I'm going to take control of this situation, okay? Got to have a very powerful mindset to do that. Living in this present moment, that is part of it. To say, there's no rules on what I can or can't do. Whatever the food is, you know, I'm picking on chocolate cake. You pick your favorite thing. If there's a food that you struggle with, if there's something, no rules. It says you can't have it. Have it whenever you want. You don't have to feel, and you don't have to, and I would even say, like I was saying before, you don't even have to think of it as bad. Like, think of it as good. It's a good thing. It's good to have a treat. But what is the routine, right? Because we said the routine is the word that is less intense. What is the routine that you can stick with most of the time that works, that is balancing these things out? And then from this framework, today, I'm not going to think, oh, I can never have my preferred treat again. Because, like, you can. It's totally fine. I've worked with people who've lost hundreds of pounds who still occasionally, on occasion, whatever occasion is right for them, still have a treat and reward themselves. I think that's the right word. I think that's fine. But it's not part of the general framework of what they're doing. Within that day, then most days, so the average day, say there's a day where you're not having like some treat, the chocolate cake. You say, well, this is not part of my life today. Are you finding contentment in that moment? You say, this is how we build out contentment culture.